thing that Jerry Ryan and Will Wade does. I think it might be the best thing I ever caught on film. Like, I kept saying, I was like, can you make it longer? And they edit. And they're so good at it. It's like they were in a vibrating seat and yet they weren't. Anyway, so just to give you a feeling, those are all of our shows that we're launching next week. And the cool thing about what we're doing this year is we're going to have a lot of different shows all the way through the year. And we are so happy to be able to launch this whole new brand new Geek and Sundry with these new shows. And we're going to be taking questions, so there's mics. I can't see farther than this, so I assume there's more mics. Is there more mics, guys? There's one mic. And it's right here, and if you guys would like to line up to ask us Q&A, we're going to be doing a lot of that. But first, should we talk about something else?
I mean, we could go through, especially for these guys down here, since they were able to make the panel. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about your show and let these guys know?
How did you guys get involved in the Geek and Sundry verse? How'd that work?
Well, like all shows.
Thank you for using the verse suffix, by the way.
Like all shows on Geek and Sundry, Felicia goes to people's houses and knocks on their door when they get chosen to be on Geek and Sundry. So it's kind of like the publisher sweepstakes. It's pretty amazing. Just a big check. It's amazing.
You're hired.
Not that big.
Web video, guys. Still web video.
Sam and I worked together on another animated video game goof show called Game Stain, and I think the Geek and Sundry folks saw that and liked it and kind of wanted a kind of a comparable version with a little bit more of a Geek and Sundry spin. We kind of assembled with some of that old team and then kind of collected some of the best writers we knew who also were serious gamers. To kind of put this together.
Yeah, and in case you didn't catch it in the 20-second clip there, it's a show it's just jokes about games and sketches about games, songs about games. There's lots of music in it. So if you like games or know that games exist, you will find something funny in this show.
You're aware of the format of
you guys do know that there are these things called games that people play.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So yes, it's going to be fun. And it's animated, and a lot of the voices that you'll hear are from really cool comedians around LA, but also if you listen really carefully, you'll hear voices from voice actors who are actually in the games that we're spoofing on. So you'll have to listen very carefully for that.
And you said something really cool about the animator of the show.
His name is Domix with a 0 instead of an O.
I didn't know that.
That's his name.
That makes him. That's legit.
You've been mispronouncing it for weeks.
Yeah, I should.
What a jerk.
Boy.
And he has a really, really cool web cartoon that's very confessional and personal. It's all about his personal life and his dating embarrassments, and it's just super duper personal. It's like an animated Ghost World kind of, and but he always slips in these terrific little video game references. So even though his show is not explicitly about video games, he's hardcore, deep into it gamer. He even had a cartoon once where a girl broke up with him, and you see the text "Fission mailed," which is a reference to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Nice.
2 people nodded.
Got it. That's what we're about, man. In jokes.
Yeah. So he's great and legit and knows his stuff. And I think that all the other writers and creatives on the show are kind of similarly embroiled in video games.
And Jordan here, he won't talk about it himself, but he's got a cool podcast. He's a really awesome comedian and funny guy and dashingly handsome. I do all the.
Get a room.
We're not wearing pants. My job on the show is to coordinate all the voices and stuff, the audio. So
Sam won't talk about himself, but Sam has been Donatello.
I was Donatello in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series on Fox.
Really? That was the one that was the sexy one for me, Donatello. Oh no, it was Raphael.
Felicia, you like him cool but rude.
I like him cool but rude. I read all those
You don't like the guy who's good with machines? No?
Well, that's kind of sexy. Wasn't he the goofy one, though?
No, that's Michelangelo.
Oh, that was
Michelangelo is a party dude. Do I
I
have
would
to sing
never
the
have
song?
anything to do with that guy. He would never get 10 feet for, oh wait, I would not.
I was the purple guy. The purple with the big stick.
I can't remember if I liked it or not. I think it was the guy with
Just
the pointy.
lie. Just say
Yeah, that's Raphael. He's the kind of brooding, sarcastic
Yeah, it's
one.
kinda
He's the bad
like-
boy.
It's the one that I'm not happy. It's the classic like girl thing. Like you wouldn't be happy with that guy. You wouldn't be with that guy.
He,
You really should be with
he
so-and-so.
disappears for a couple of weeks. He never texts you back.
Yeah, you should.
And then he shows up with a motorcycle and a new tattoo.
And you're like, oh.
Swoon!
Date Raphael, but marry Donatello.
Okay. Date, marry, and then F. No.
F Michelangelo because he's a party dude.
True.
Okay.
And
Sorry, there's someone up front with a Ninja Turtle sex question. Yes.
Okay. As you can see.
No, I don't think Krang's robot has a penis. Next. Anything else? Anyone else?
There's just an awkward empty seat here, so we'll just go right there. As you can see, and you can see from the trailer, like, and I don't know if you guys saw my State of the Sundry video that I did a couple weeks back about, because I went on some soul searching and a little bit of depression and, and then not depression and then excitement and I had a little bit of a crisis because I was like, wow, what are we doing? What do I want to say in the world? And then I went to Jamaica and drank a bunch of rum and then I came back and I was like, let's do this thing. And the cool thing is that like the new thing I want to introduce into this channel is working with just searching for creative people that I want to work with. So I'm basically stalking a lot of people online and just like cold emailing them. I'm like, hey, I really like what you do. Come do something with me. And, I think you guys are going to be really happy because not only are we working with some of the people we love from the past, of course, but we're like trying to infuse the whole Geek and Sundry verse with new vision and new voices and as we go along in the year, you're going to see even more and more of that at a bigger level even. So I'm super excited for you guys to tune in next week. Let's start taking questions. Hi.
Okay, so Geek and Sundry, Tabletop, are you guys going to play red shirts?
Do we read red shirts?
No. Are you going to play red shirts on Tabletop?
Oh, red shirts, the game. I don't think so. Do we have that on our list? Is it a good one? Do you like it?
We will actually check it out now that you mention it. It's not on our list. We have a couple more slots that we're still deciding on. So thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, we're I think the premiere episode is next week, and we're playing Formula Day or D. Does anybody know this game? Yeah, like 4 people. But listen, once you see this game, you're gonna want it. Like of all the games we played in the first taping, we taped 10 episodes already. I wanted this game more than anything. It's because the board is huge and it's beautiful, and it's a racetrack in Monaco, and you have a little car, and you get to pick the color of your car, and you have a gearbox. And you shift gears, like physically shift gears in the little box, and you have 7 colored dice, and each gear corresponds with a different dice.
So this is Dork Hot Wheels then.
Yeah. So once you see, and a lot of the games this year are like that. Like we try to look for some newer, some really new games that people hadn't seen before, and like introduce people to one of my favorites. You saw us play Lords of Waterdeep, which got nasty, guys. I'm just gonna tell you, stuff went down. So we have a bunch, but it's a great suggestion. We'll put it on our list to look at for the next time.
So the parkour video and the vlog. I mean, from the Dragon Age stunts, you'd think it would have gone a little bit better. So who forced you to do that one?
The vlog, yeah. That was just, we edited really well in Dragon Age. And, I was in such good shape when I did Dragon Age. I actually took 6 months off, and all I did was work out like 8 hours a day. I'm like, these girls who have these great bodies on TV, God bless them, but I don't have time for this stuff. I don't have much time for my butt to be that firm. So now I'm like I am, and I literally hurt my knee on that. I hurt my knee for about 8 weeks. My knee hurt because I was, it's very hard. But the cool thing is, if you're local, that Tempest Freerunning Academy, they have lessons, and they're amazing. They have their own videos they do as well. But you can go and just take parkour lessons there, and you can go down the Mario Hall and everything. So I would recommend anybody who has an interest in that to just go and take some classes because they're brilliant and the place is so fun. No, I'm not talented in that area. I mean, like, let's just be honest. It was awkward. That foam pit was so dangerous. I could not get out. I mean, it wasn't funny. It was like I was being sucked into a vortex of hell.
Felicia, I want to see you in a parkour off with Jason Statham. Right? Shouldn't we try and make that happen, everybody?
That would be pretty hot. I mean, he's pretty awesome.
He's great. He can wear a suit but then also kick a guy. That's what he's best at.
That is the only thing.
Yeah. That's two things.
That's two things.
He's good at two things.
Yeah.
Wearing a suit.
And he's an Olympic diver. Thank you, IMDb.
Wait, we just learned that Jason Statham was an Olympic diver.
Wow.
Who knew that? More people than who? All right.
More people than have played that game.
Not after next week.
Boom.
Boom. Next question.
Hi, shout out from VF NoHo.
Hey.
I'm just wondering, since Vaginal Fantasy becomes a really great group, are you guys going to have more like author talks, author guest stars?
You know, we've talked about, she's talking about, wow, and she's dancing now. Beautiful. Vaginal Fantasy is my romance book club that we do once a month, and last one, we got really super drunk, guys. We did not address the books, and people were like, you guys weren't really talking about the books. I'm like, I had a lot of rum. I don't know what to tell you. It didn't, you know, we've debated a lot about having author guests, and we felt like it's kind of hard because you don't want to talk about somebody to their face, right? It's almost like we're talking about their book behind their back. And to me, you're going to be like, I love that book. Even if you're like, you want to offer a helpful criticism or just have perspective, it's like, right here, you know? So it's interesting. I'd like to explore that, but it would probably be in a different video situation. But I like that idea. We're definitely continuing the group on the channel, and I like that idea. I want to go to the romance. There's a Romantic Times book convention, and this year I think it's in Kansas or something kind of. Not Kansas Indians. What? Come on, Sam.
Kansas is beautiful.
Have you been?
I have. It's really not.
Oh.
It's just flat.
It's flat, right? Never been to any of those states. Oklahoma, I did, but I just went through the little.
What is that called? Is that like the little grundle?
Panhandle.
Yeah,
This group right here,
Oklahoma
they should
show,
need to be on the
everyone knows it's
panel.
famous.
It's the little Statham part.
Yeah, sure. The happy to see you part. Okay, stop it, Felicia. Stop.
America's boner.
And that's what their show's like. Okay, next question.
It was originally going to air only on PBS, but then you guys snapped it up. It's going to air after Downton Abbey.
Walt Whitman, animated as Master Chief.
Right, yes.
That'd be a weird show. Okay.
I wanted to ask Felicia, which of the music videos has been your favorite to make?
Oh my gosh. That's a good question. As far as like the process of making them, I have to say that the Bollywood one was, because I got to be on an elephant that was not real. I mean, all of them are just my babies, and that's why we don't do a ton of them, because I put so much effort into them. I'd love to make another one soon. What's going on, guys? What's going on in this line? There's like rabble rousing. Okay. Anyway, I would love to make another one soon, but it's just a question of just making sure that that's going to be as much my baby as all the other ones. All of them are great, but I had a lot of requests to do that, so we'll see. We'll see. Thanks.
You, sir, in the Wesley Crushers t-shirt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you should address all questions for Star Trek.
We'll translate.
So episode 2. Actually, my question is, so as Geek and Sundry grows, what are some of the bigger challenges that you're facing?
Yeah, it's a good question. Sherry, what are we talking about that? Because Sherry, okay, just to give some context for Sherry, she is the rock. She is the one who keeps everything going behind the scenes, all the logistical thing, describe what you do? Come on.
Just the business side of things. So it's a really good question as we think about growth and how to keep our integrity and the brand while at the same time doing more shows, maybe, a couple initiatives we're doing this year is potentially going off YouTube as well, and maybe venturing into television, and venturing a little bit more into tech. Like, we don't have apps yet, boo, but we will.
But we don't want to have an app just to have an app. We want to okay, it's got to be a cool app that you guys would want to download, or let's not have an app, right? Like, that's always me, and that was, that's like kind of our rule.
Yeah, so I think that sort of answers your question, but it's a great question because we are small and we do want to grow, and at the same time, we want our little brand to stay little and intimate and still reflect all of Felicia's tastes and, Felicia touching everything, and it's hard as you grow. So we're not going to grow like this, we're going to grow like this.
Yeah.
She touches it.
I touch everything.
It's like there's
touch it all.
the kitchen at the office. She touches all the food.
I'm like,
it's really gross.
Okay.
I really liked it when you washed my hair, though. That was very nice.
I want to run my fingers through your hair just cuz, right?
You'll never get them through.
Really?
It's like a it's like a bear trap.
Do you want to do it now? We can do it later.
Because everybody wants to. Look at it. Look at this head of hair. He's like Shirley Temple in a male form.
Ooh. Oh, God.
So awkward after I did it.
I enjoyed every second of it. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, good. At least it was good for you. It's very weird.
I washed it today with a reputable
No, you look
product.
clean. You're clean.
Thank you.
Oh, God, why did I do that? Okay, keep going. Somebody keep going. Just say something.
Thank you for the guild. It was amazing, 6 seasons, and I'm sorry to see it go.
Thank you.
Are you working on anything, other web shows, or any ideas for other web shows?
Yeah, no, well, yes, absolutely. We have a bunch of projects we're in the works on, and, as part of my little, just to be honest with you, that was part of, having the guild end in that web series format and figure out what are you, besides the show that you've done for 6 years, and you have this amazing company, but, it's all about kind of identity in a way, and for me, I worked on those Gale characters for a year before I even started writing. And a lot of people probably don't know that. They just think, I'm just going to put pen to paper. But to me, you have to love the world and own the characters in a way before you start writing, because then their voices will take off. Other than, So I'm definitely thinking about what is next and making something and writing and stuff. And that's what, part of the manifesto thing that I did, the Geek and State of the Sundry, was just letting you guys know, this is what we stand for. And when I make that thing, and when we make other people's things, that they're all reflected in that sort of underlying message of independence and just being who you are without having to justify yourself to other people, not trying to steer it because it's convenient for other people to consume you or market you or something like that. And that is in everything. So, short answer, yes, I'm working on stuff. It might be a little slow, but literally every single day I'm thinking of what is that thing that is mine, and other than just this awesome company and the people I get to work with.
I think too, just to mention, besides Felicia creating and writing scripted shows, we have 3 in development that we really love that we'll probably be making a couple big announcements around San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, Comic-Con. And also, just for if you saw Felicia's arc, that was me saying, hey, I want to do something different. And I was just literally joking around to Sherry. I was like, instead of falling on my face at parkour, can I just take video game characters and figure out, which one is the best bear? What is the best bear? And we started getting in a debate with a bunch of people, and they were like, no, this bear. No, this bear. And I was like, well, this is the show I want to make. So it was Felicia's arc. It's we're asking everyone at the end of the video to vote, basically. And that victorious bear will get on my arc. So, it's just random ideas like that.
And all others will die.
Exactly. So that's basically, and I want to do ideas like that whenever I have a good idea like that we're going to jump in and do that idea. So that's the cool thing about it.
Is Kuma from Tekken in the running for Best Bear?
It is. Kuma from Tekken is one of the bears. I just spoiled it. Monday is the first episode, so you'll see all the bears.
Teddy from Persona?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you because then there's no point in watching.
I just want to talk about video games.
Okay, all right. Monday. Get in the comments. What's your handle? A curly head 654?
Yeah. Curly head 420.
420.
No.
Hi, Felicia. I was a big fan of when you were in the Supernatural episodes.
Thank you. I just finished one. Yeah.
The one with the LARPing one, right?
I did the LARPing one, and then I just shot one 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 8/20, I think. It's number 20, so I guess it'll be out next month sometime.
Okay, is it going to involve the fairy you met up with? That's what I was wondering.
I can't spoil anything. What? Yeah, she was pretty cool, right? Yeah, she was pretty awesome. I'm not going to say because I'll get in trouble. I'm very, very well. I was raised in the Jospers. You shut your mouth. unless you know it's okay to say it. But I will say that you will see an amazing arc for Charlie in this new episode. And Robbie Thompson, who writes all of the Charlie episodes, actually, he wrote this one as well. And I've never had a writer where, you know, I have had other writers where I pick it up, but it's rare. And the one, I'm so privileged to work with writers who, whenever I pick the script up, I'm like, oh my God, this is a character I own and I love, and I want to be her, you know, as much as I can. So I think you guys are going to be really excited about her. Yes, Jared and Jensen, they smell like flowers and oak and testosterone. They're amazing oaky men. They're pretty awesome.
Those boys are kind of dreamy, from what I hear.
From what you hear?
Yeah. And see. All right, yeah. They're handsome.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous, sure.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're stunning. You know, you want to sculpt them every time you look at their faces. Yes.
Yes.
All right, but not to objectify them.
No. They are some beautiful pieces of meat, though.
Yeah.
Not to objectify.
In a non-objective way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, going for tabletop gaming, I'm kind of new to the Geek and Sundry. I'm wondering if you've done different card games such as Cards Against Humanity.
Yes. Yeah.
We love Cards Against Humanity. It's a little on the negative side. Don't you guys think? No. You know, we'll think about it with a few more slots. Will loves the game, but I think he feels like it's a little negative.
He feels like it might get to the point where we're like offending a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll play it at conventions and stuff. Like we'll be playing it at VidCon and some other places, Comic-Con.
And the internet is no place for negativity.
No. It's just a happy place.
Yeah, it's
we
a fun
actually
place.
do. Yeah, we actually do try not to be negative.
God, you know, I was in earnest. I was just talking to Felicia about this backstage, just kind of looking at the comments for the trailer to Fetch Quest. The Geek and Sundry fans are so nice.
Yeah.
I've worked for tons of web shows that just have awful people
Soul
watching them.
searing, perhaps?
Just husks of humanity whose souls have evaporated from their bodies. And it's so nice to go down the Geek and Sundry comments and just see people who are excited and cool and passionate and just like, oh my God, like, yeah, working in web shows can crush you. I mean, you just feel like you're garbage 100% of the time.
What do you really feel?
Oh, garbage. Like
garbage.
Like the liquid that accumulates at the bottom of a garbage can.
Yeah, that stuff. The smell that you like don't, you don't smell it.
I'm just like, I'm so excited to be putting out a show on a channel with cool fans. God bless you people.
Yeah, no, you guys are the best ever. No, and it's so important. It goes back to the question of growing too fast, and you lose touch with people, and you know that's also why a lot of the things that we're doing this year. I just want to make sure that you guys feel included in everything we do, and we have some cool initiatives coming out later that I can't talk about, but they'll definitely be even more on a community basis, and just like having our Comic-Con, being able to say, hey, we have a place, come here and have fun with us outside the crowds of the convention center, and those are things that are so important to me, and that's why keeping that relationship with you guys is I don't know, it's important.
It helps us too. We read the comments, and if you guys want something, especially on our show, like if you want us to tackle a game or a specific character or whatever, we'll do our best to make it fun for you.
Yeah.
It's an open environment.
Yeah. Hey.
You voiced my favorite character in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, Veronica?
Yeah.
Yay!
I worked on that too. I was Chris Haverson. One of the
I played Fallout.
Nice.
And really enjoyed it.
But you're right, Felicia was amazing.
But my
question is, how was it voicing that character?
It was super fun. People don't appreciate this about video games, but you will do 1,000 lines like in an hour. Like it is no joke. You think you've heard bad video game acting? It's because you have like this much of a script, right? And you'll go, the bomb is in the shelter, but you know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, go on. And you get one take. You go like, hey guys, and then you're screaming, you're on fire, next, you're screaming on fire, you're shooting something, you're grunting, next, okay, do this paragraph about, you know, a nuclear reactor blowing up, next. I mean, it's crazy. So that was the cool thing about that character. The writing was so good that it's sort of like, you got into the flow of it. And she was totally OP, because she had that like gauntlet. That was ridiculous. Like if I had not been here, I'd be like, you need to fix your game. Because she's so overpowered. But I was like, it's cool, make her overpowered.
Well, the other challenging thing about that game is you have to do all the lines like 3 times, depending on who you're talking to. Whether
that was
you
the crazy
hate them,
part.
like them, or don't know them yet. And so
yeah.
it's like an acting class, basically.
Yeah, that was the same thing with Talus. You know, Zoja was a little bit more, and Guild Wars 2 was a little bit more straightforward because it's a little more linear. But you still did have, like, there are different places that you could join different colleges and stuff, and you'd have to do everything in triplicate, depending on, you know, so that's the cool thing about video game acting.
How you doing?
Yeah, first time, long time. We're just here to, actually had a question about what you thought was your best idea never to make it into an episode or a script.
My best idea? Well, I should save that, right, to use it?
Maybe just tell us now.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I'm not going to say anything specific, but I actually sold a show that was an animated show in a video game, and I can't say anything more about that, but I sold it to a person, and it was almost a mission because I basically announced it. It was like 2007, and I wrote this, and it was my baby, and I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever written. We shot the pilot, we had all these scripts ready to go, and then there was some kind of rights issue that we couldn't actually air it. So, and every single year I'm like, I email those guys and I'm like, oh, can we show this yet? And then, no. So I guess, you know, and that gave me a lesson as far as like, you know, as far as making things, and if you put all your creativity in something, and the system sometimes just contracts in the way that it works, especially in mainstream Hollywood, people can tell you, hey, you can't make that show anymore. And you can't start it or end it on your own terms, which I think, you know, that kind of freedom, that's why I like being in this space a little bit more, because you do have more freedom over your creativity, and that's why I have my own channel now, so that, you know, yeah, that wouldn't happen. Anyway, they're nice guys. It's just, it was
Steven Spielberg, wasn't it?
It was Steven Spielberg, yeah. That guy with his beard. God, he had a beard before hipsters had a beard.
That's true.
Yeah.
Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans.
Lincoln. I just wanted to be part of the conversation.
Okay, so I had a question about the vlog.
Yeah.
The episode where you were crocheting with Colin Ferguson, did you keep the chameleon that you made? I think it was a chameleon.
No, I gave it away. We gave it away on Twitter. Everything I ever made on the vlog except for the soap. And to this day, just to irritate me, if I want to get irritated, I look on that comment and they're like, so really, where's the soap? And I'm like, did you not understand what happened? So we moved offices. I don't even need to go into it, I'm getting angry. But everything else, like the top hat and the thing that I crocheted with a big old hole in it, and several other things that I made in a very shoddy fashion, those all got given away on our Twitter account. You guys, if you don't follow it, you should probably do it, because we give away a lot of stuff on there, especially associated with the shows and everything. But you know, Colin literally showed up to that place and he was like, "Where? I thought this was croquet." And I'm not even kidding, he really did think that. And he said, "I've been practicing croquet in my lawn." I mean, I'm not kidding. He's such a thorough guy. Like then I was like, well, maybe we'll have you back for croquet. Actually, pretty funny. I don't even know how that works. So
yeah, you should do like a weird European sports web series.
What other weird European sports?
Well, what's the soccer? What's the thing with the broom? On the ice?
Oh, that's Michiganian.
Curling.
Curling.
All I know is you do this.
It's very cute.
You're adorable. Yeah.
Right back at you.
Okay.
Wait, speaking of Colin, I want to interrupt and do a trivia question about Colin. We have some signed DVDs of the Guild to give away.
Oh yeah.
Before we get kicked out of here, I'm going to throw out a few trivia questions. The first one is about Colin, which is, what game did he play on Tabletop? Ticket to Ride, give that woman a signed DVD.
Where do we direct her to go afterward? Oh, good. Oh, right there. It's happening right now.
Great.
Thank you.
What is the name of the producer character on Guild Season 6? Ooh, no hands.
No, that was wrong.
Steven Spielberg.
The female producer. The female producer. Oh. Alex, you're right. That was the actress. Yes, Alex. Okay, you got one. Yes, okay. Great. These are hard, guys. You gotta work for it. Okay?
All right, who directed Goth Boy?
Which was a written by a kid episode.
By a kid episode on season
right here.
Yes, excellent. Rhett and Link.
These are obscure. We're not gonna softball you, all right? Does everybody feel left out? Yeah. Okay.
Do you have any Jason Statham questions? Because these guys is wheelhouse.
What do you think about the Oklahoma Panhandle?
This one's hard as well for the tabletop fans out there. What was the name of the intern who Will wanted to set on fire? You guys remember that?
Bernie?
Yay, boo, yay.
Nobody's got it.
It starts with an N. Yes, Neil,
who's literally sitting there. He's right there. Like, that's creepy, actually. Did he whisper to you? No. Now you're flushed. It's pretty cute.
And the last question is, who are the girls on Vaginal Fantasy? What are their names?
Oh,
that's the person over there.
Yes. Oh, there's a jumper right there. Yes, correct. Yay! That was good. Okay, that was good. Okay, back. We're gonna speed through you guys. We'll get through all of you. Okay. Hi.
Alright, Felicia, I have known you and your work for exactly 10 years, but because I have watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Woo! Was that 10 years ago? Stop it. No, it was 9. It was 2004.
2004?
I didn't start until November of that year, so... Oh, you guys. Anyway, I look the same, right? Exactly.
You did that when you were 12 years old. 12. So you're only 22.
12, exactly. Anybody want to argue with me?
How does it feel to portray as V from Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
How was that? It was the best experience of my life because I met some of my favorite people on that show. But the one thing was I always got sick because those stages were so moldy and they tore them down subsequently. But I'd always get like, one time I even got an inflamed lymph node because they thought a spider bit me. And it was like I had an egg under my chin.
Oh,
that's cool, that's great. A spider laid an egg in your face? That's awesome.
It was antibiotics that fixed it, but it was great. But that was not the story you wanted, right? Oh well.
Felicia,
after 10 years, it's the only story I have left about that show.
What other blemishes can you tell us about?
Well, I heard my
guys, I have some eczema patches that maybe you'd like to know about. See me outside and you can see them up close.
He has Guild DVDs. No, I'm just kidding. Hi.
I was wondering if you were maybe going to involve Jeff Lewis on Geek and Sundry anymore, maybe with adding like a 5-minute comedy hour, or please, it's all coming up.
Oh boy. Did he pay you to say that? That's spin-off. I would love Jeff to be on there. Actually, we're doing the sketch show, and I believe that, or I could say, I guess Robin Thorson from the Guild is going to be in one of the episodes. So that was kind of designed, and yeah, throughout the year, like I want Jeff to be on the channel. I mean, whenever I start writing anything, one of the characters is always Jeff. So I could pretty much guarantee that Jeff will be on the channel in some capacity. He literally is the one person who makes me laugh in the world. And yeah, don't tell him I said anything nice about him.
Hi.
with all the projects that you guys go and everything floating through your brain pan, I was wondering if there's stuff that you've thought of, you've written it, you get it scripted, you start to film it, and then you realize, like touching his hair, this was kind of awkward, and then you kind of just avoid the project.
That was awesome.
Where you started filming it, and then you're just like, no, wait, let's just put this aside. Have you?
I don't think we've ever done that. I mean, basically we do look, and especially nowadays, we actually have somebody whose job is to look at stuff. They'll always be online looking for awesome people to work with, asking people for material, like talking to agents and managers and looking online. Like just literally always looking for things that will fit our sensibility. And like, it's hard because you have to be really picky. Because unless you can provide something and a vision for everything that's on the channel, like you don't want to do it, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or good. It's just that it doesn't fit. So we usually weed out pretty early on in the process because if we're committing to something, you know, that's a big deal. Because when you're working with web budgets, it's like every dollar is precious. So, you know, you have to be really careful about what you make. Once the cameras roll, so by that point, like once the cameras roll, you know, we're behind it and we know we can make something awesome about it. Things like Arcade Arms, and I don't know if you guys saw, we did a pilot episode of that earlier, like 3 weeks ago, I think, which was awesome. It was about God of War, and also had some armor smithing in it, and based on you guys' feedback on that, we're actually going to shift the show a little bit in a lot of different ways, and basically it was because of things that we saw you guys. We had a show that we did, and then we're like, oh, that's a really good idea. So we're incorporating that to kind of form the show so that when we do more episodes down the line, which we're going to definitely do, it's a question of being able to incorporate that and kind of work with it. So yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, you just were saying how you have people scouring the internet. You mentioned before that you're always looking for new content. Is there any plan to open up a submission thing so that it can come to you? You don't have to look for it.
That is something we have to figure out how that works. I don't legally learn all this little stuff. That would be a really cool goal for me this year to be able to do something like that. Absolutely. It's just a question of getting the right, you know, the right processes, so we're not overwhelmed and we don't like not look at, you know, just basically the logistics of it. But like I said, during the year, you guys are going to see some really interesting community things we're going to be doing with that kind of stuff, and just stay tuned. So yeah,
check back on the website. That's where you find it.
Yeah, go to the website, and when we announce something like that, it'll be at the website and on Twitter. But you know, the website is a good place that'll be more sticky. So thank you for asking that.
About Jeff Lewis, but are there any chance of any of the other Guild alumni who will be on Geek and Sundry, like Robin or Amy? Because I know she was on the blog ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Like when we need a role cast or like a hosting slot filled or anything, they're like our #1 go-to. A lot of them are doing, like Amy is now doing a hosting thing on another YouTube channel, which is so cute. And people, you know, Jeff has his side projects, but they're my family. So whenever I want to, you know, every single video is like a celebration. It's a party, right? So whenever we always go to our first liners in a sense, and all, you know, they're part of the family. So like I said, Robin's going to be on Player Ones, and definitely throughout the year. Yeah. Thank you. Gosh, we finished right on time, didn't we? Yeah. I got a thumbs up. Thank you guys.